Alright guys, welcome back to Hyrule Warriors. Last time we met in Hyrule Warriors, we finished up the Ocarina of Time arc, and now we're actually going to be continuing on to the next part of the timeline split, which is with Twilight Princess, which is my personal favorite Zelda game, because of a lot of reasons. Mainly a bit of a nostalgia bias. Twilight Princess is technically the first Zelda game that I 100% completed. Or I think even just remotely played. I played it on the Wii. So yes.
Lana stepped through her portal and found a jarring sight. Wherever she looked, the kingdom was consumed by shadow. Though she knew of the Twilight Realm, she had never seen it firsthand.
Well, I guess she didn't play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD on the Nintendo Wii. Oh wait, no one played that because the Wii U wasn't, no one owned it. Then again, I mean, enough people owned a Wii U to play Hyrule Warriors to where it got one re-released on the 3DS and then again re-released for the Switch. So enough people played it. At least the 3DS version, I want to say, because I'm pretty sure Legends was made on the 3DS to, get more people to play it, because nobody had a Wii U. By the way, I love this remix of the Twilight Princess Hyrule Field theme. It is, like, the best thing ever. Like, a hard rock version of my favorite Hyrule Field theme, yes, please, thank you. Yes, I will admit, the best Hyrule Field theme belongs to Twilight Princess. And it's because it just gives you that, like, obviously this version isn't going to be giving you what I'm talking about, because it's not the same. But, like, especially when you first enter Hyrule Field, you get that, like, triumphant, like, it did the riff at the beginning, the whole da-da-da thing. It does it in, like, a really triumphant way, and it keeps the triumph going. Now, if Hyrule Field was a little more interesting to explore in Twilight Princess, then I think I would like the theme even more. But I like the theme as is anyway. The theme also just feels much better anyway because of the fact that once you get Epona in Twilight Princess, it just feels a lot more climatic to be, on horseback, just riding through Hyrule Field. Anyway, technically this is submission I could have showed off Lana's second weapon, the Kokiri Spear, but I just didn't, because, yeah. Yeah, so the representation for Twilight Princess is Agitha, Midna, and Zant. That is the representation for Twilight Princess in this game. And Twilight Midna as well, but that is the DLC representation for Twilight Princess. I don't even think you would know what that is, Agitha, but okay. By the way, I absolutely hate playing as Agitha. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be blunt. I don't like playing as Agitha. I know some people say that she's like the best character in the game. Not to me. I don't like playing as her. Honestly, I actually just did I did a lot more adventure mode messing around recently. I just finished the first Wind Waker map, the map of the Great Sea or whatever it's called, the Great Sea map, whatever it's called. I beat it in terms of getting to Ganon and defeating him. I haven't, like, gone back and got all the weapons, though I do have most of the weapons from that map. I'm missing 2, and that's because I just kind of skipped right over them, or I got a B rank, and I just said, screw this, I'm going to move on. And I'm probably going to end up leveling up my characters for those missions when I get a chance. Because I am kind of bad at doing this. I have a very bad tendency of sticking to one character, and if I'm limited to any other characters that I don't like, I will just hate every second of it. Like, if you look in the roster later on in this Let's Play, you will see that, like, some of the characters will probably say, like, level 20, while Link is, like, nearing level 100. Well, Link's kind of my main. I have a horrible tendency of doing that in every Warriors game, mind you. I don't think I do it as badly as in Fire Emblem. I don't think I do it as badly in Fire Emblem Warriors, because Fire Emblem Warriors, all the characters play similarly enough to where I can get away with not doing that. But this game, I think it's because of just how different they all are. I feel that I have to stick to the best character in my opinion, and that is honestly Link. I think Link just has the best equipment for everything, especially his Hylian sword / Master Sword. I think that's his best. I think that's one of his best weapons. Close second would probably be his fire rod or the spinner. His Great Fairy is great for like crowds, but very bad for one-on-one. Same for his horse, I would say. And his gauntlets, I need a little more time with those, though I do like them. But like, I typically stick with characters I like the most. So like Impa, Lana, Zelda, Ganondorf, and Link would probably be... there's a bit of a margin of high levels between those characters compared to someone like Ruto, who probably is like level 20 right now. And that's just kind of my own fault. I should be, playing as the other characters. But like, what I do is that in every adventure mode map, if I am limited to the character, and there's the off chance that I can play as multiple characters in that map, I put that character in the first slot because you're forced to, and then I just put Link in the second slot, and then I just play as Link. Because one, you kind of override the system there, and it says, "Hey, yeah, you played as Impa, but Link was in the map, but you played as Link most of the time. You still got the A rank, so you still get the treasure for getting the A rank as Impa." I know it's cheating, but if it works, it works. I mean, it's in the game. Now, this was Now, the thing was also, you couldn't do this in the original Wii U version. In the Wii U version, you were stuck with that character, even if you didn't like it. So that was unfortunate. Okay, so actually, I should probably get into Twilight Fields' gimmick here. So, the Twilight Realm is invading Hyrule, at least this version of Hyrule. And as a result, there are these you see these black rectangles all over the place on the fields and stuff like that. That's over keeps. Well, if you capture a keep, the twilight of that area goes away. This is actually a pretty big mechanic for this map, for this story chapter, because Midna's in this chapter, and her power level is based on whether or not you have any Realms of Twilight active. So I would make it a priority to capture keeps in this level. Well, actually, the game's going to make you do that, whether you like it or... Well, it's not going to make you. It's going to encourage that you do. You can defeat Midna with all the Twilight Realms active. The only keep you cannot afford to lose is the Allied base, obviously. The Allied base is the only thing that you can't let fall, and Agitha can't flee. I really do hate the fact that the cutscenes aren't rendered in real time anymore. Because they weren't... I think they were in... the original game. That or I just missed. That or they weren't, I just missed it. But, you can clearly tell that you're going into a cutscene because the game has an intended moment in which the song is in. You just heard the little bit of the song of Hyrule Fields' theme there, and then it played that same exact section again. Because the game intended that I was there earlier. Or, they wanted that part of the theme to be playing during this cutscene. It's done it a few times, if you've noticed. It did that once. It did it in the Hyrule Field level. It did it in the first level. It did it back in the Elden Caves. It's done it in every level. Okay, so... in Twilight Princess, Midna was in her imp form because of Zant. Zant cast a curse on her with the Fuse Shadow and made her an imp. This game changes that for some reason and made it to where Sia did it. And that's... I don't know if that's a really... I mean, it's not really a huge change. The whole curse thing didn't really factor into anything in the overall story of Twilight Princess looking back. But it's just kind of weird. I feel like it could have had a different way of invoking a bit of a bitter hatred towards Sia from Midna. Because... I think that... I just think that her... they could have just had it to where Sia manipulated Zant to betray her, and that's what caused it. So, now I'm trying to get the Gold Skulltula, which is defeating Midna before Sia retreats from the battlefield. Sia will retreat from the battlefield the moment Midna and Lana get near her. Sia's here, by the way. Okay, there's actually one mechanic that I have yet to explain, and I'm standing right by it now, so I might as well. Those little owl statues that I have interacted with a few of them. Those are actually warp points. Certain missions/levels have warp points that there is an ocarina item that you get. I think you get it back in the Valley of Seers, I want to say. That when you use it, you can warp between the owl statues that you've activated, making travel a lot easier. So say you have nobody near your allied base, and your allied base is about to fall. Well, you can warp back to the allied base using that, instead of, having to wait for one of your, having to run all the way to the allied base. I don't use the warp function that much, but it's there if you need it. It was introduced back in Legends. I just haven't talked about it yet because I haven't really used it per se. It will be very much useful in adventure mode, because in adventure mode, certain missions, your allied base will be falling into danger almost every 2 freaking minutes. Because that's just how it is. And that's just because that's the nature of adventure mode. Some maps are way harder than others. And, and it's not because, that's how the game that's not how the game is. It's just that the game intends... this game is one of those grinding games. This is one of those games that they expect you to be playing for years. Maybe you will be playing for hundreds of hours to get everybody to a decent level, to get everybody's weapons, to get everything ready to conquer adventure mode. I mean, yes, in adventure mode, you unlock other characters' weapons, and you unlock other characters. But at the same time, they expect you to strategize and, have characters to a decent level. You cannot have a level 1 character going into adventure mode. That is just not going to work out for you. Okay, I'm saying that, if you do that, you'll die instantly. No, not necessarily, but the game will do everything in its power to make sure you suffer the consequences for not being ready. What was I saying? I think there are recommended levels to be for adventure mode, for all the adventure mode maps, mind you. And you can kind of gauge what the difficulty is, at least in this version, based on, what the little difficulty graphic is. It ranges from easy to hero. Hero being the hardest. So, yeah, it's really, you need to make sure you take your time and kind of, be ready for anything. Legend mode, however, is so easy. I mean, you can do it from level 1 and get to level 50, and you'll be fine. On normal mode, anyway. On hard mode, it may take a little more. In fact, I think the game intends that you play on normal mode your first playthrough of Legend mode, and then go through hard mode. Mainly because that's why they give you the second gold Skulltulas, for this game. That's why the game gives you the second gold Skulltula on hard mode. And it does also unlock hero mode after you finish your first playthrough. But I will say, I think leveling up in this game is a lot easier than I remember it being. Especially, it might be just that they might have changed the experience values for Definitive Edition. I could be way off. You can tell me all you want. Because I remember having a bitch of a time getting characters who were level 50 up to level 51 back in the Wii U version. But now I'm doing it every 5 minutes. I've had missions in normal adventure mode maps where my level 90 Link leveled up 4 times. and I don't think I'm lying about, and I don't think I'm exaggerating. I could be way off. I could be. I do have like experience plus weapons equipped. No, wait. Not even. Link's Master Sword doesn't have any. Link's Master Sword doesn't have any sort of experience plus thing, and I've been using just Link's Master Sword, or the Fire Rod if needed. Like I just use Link's Master Sword most of the time because sword beams. I noticed that sword beams. Also, the second qualification for the Gold Skulltula is having a certain amount of keeps, and I think I've met that condition. It's just that the game is taking forever to get the prompts up. I believe I also do have to take the enemy base. Like, I think I have to have all of the keeps. Jeez, my chest is itchy today. I don't like it. I'm just scratching my chest a lot right now. I don't know why. I think probably something bit me. Yeah, so I'm capturing the Bridge Keep, which is Midna's enemy base. Oh yeah, there are also two types of forces at times. There are rogue forces, which are yellow, and then there are enemy forces, which are... I'm looking at the Gold Skulltula conditions now. Or not. Oh, I think I was just looking at that. Oh, I know what I was doing. My adventure mode instinct kicked in. So, during adventure mode, I constantly pause the game to see how much damage and time I've taken. And because your ranking is based off of your damage and your time and how many enemies you've killed. Alright, so yeah, I'm looking for the Gold Skulltula now. Which I think is actually in the keep. It's just, I just don't see it. Unfortunately, I don't think I get this one. Yeah, I think I see it on the gate. Yeah, there it is, right there on the gate. Oh no, I get this one. It's the next mission where I don't get it. Which is a good thing, honestly, considering what happens at the end of that mission. Yeah, and I'm checking the Skulltula, even though I already know it. Yeah, yeah, it's defeat Midna before Sia leaves the battlefield, then capture all keeps. Oh, the My Fairy. I guess do I have time to explain that? Okay, let me be quick with this, because I never really... I don't understand what this is. So My Fairies can be found in, like, pots in keeps and stuff like that. It's the ones that aren't colored yellow, red, or green. You can kind of guess what all the pots do. But the neutral colored pots, they hold fairy stuff, like food and stuff. And if you find a fairy, they all have, like, elemental properties similar to all the other characters in their weapons. And they all have, like, different perks and skills and stuff like that you can use. And you have to, like, feed them to a certain level, and then they'll level up. And then when they get to, like, certain levels in their qualities, they can unlock new skills. It's something I don't utilize that much. I don't think it's very useful, to be honest with you. It's there if you need it, but to me, I don't think I need it. It's very hard to explain. I am sure that there's probably a comprehensive guide to the My Fairy system online somewhere. I just don't know it. I've never used it. I mean, I've used him. I use the fairies. I just don't know what I'm doing with them. You know, I know you can feed them and customize their outfits and stuff like that. But besides that, I don't know what the hell to do with them. I didn't mean to skip that, by the way, but it's fine. And by the way, again, yes, I am still in the Great Seas outfit. I'm not showing off all the costumes. I don't even have all the costumes unlocked. I just had that costume equipped and I forgot to take it off. I think the only characters I would probably show off all their costumes for was like Link and Zelda, but even then I still don't have all their costumes. So, Like, I would show off a lot of the ones I have, at least. Yay, I got an achievement! I don't know what... I don't think it matters in the grand scheme of things. But yes, that is the end of the part. So the next time we meet in Hyrule Warriors, we're going to be continuing on with the Twilight Princess arc by doing the second and last mission of it with... I think we're going to the Palace of Twilight. So see you guys next time, and take care.